Alright fellas, what I'm doing today is I'm doing something for the LTD, and this is the little bucket that goes in the center console, and this plastic in these things is really brittle. So I saw on YouTube, or I think, about a welding kit, plastic welding kit. So I looked on Amazon and found one, and of course it's made in China, but I mean it works decent. It's all you're doing is put in like a little depending on what you're welding, like what shape. You can get one of these things out of here, and you put it in the gun across two what do you call it, electrodes or whatever. Goes on that thing, and it heats it up and melts it, and then you kind of embeds it in the plastic, and then you cut off the legs. This is the cutter they sent with the kit. All it does is like fold over the legs, so I had to get the old Reliable out. I was stationed in the Philippines. I went TDY to Okinawa. I've been down at the beach snorkeling with some guys I worked with, and I found these. That was in 1988, 89, somewhere in there. Still work great. These things are going in the metal recycling, and this is the first one I put on, or I pushed it all the way through, and the rest of them worked all right. I had to kind of glue it in place first, and then put a piece of tape along the back side of it to hold it, and I still got a little crooked right there. But like I said, it's inside the center console, so it'll be all right. I got to get a grinder and knock off these little legs here that it didn't cut off, and see if I can find the rest of the pieces that are broken off, because like I said, these things are real brittle. I tried to pull this apart here where I had super glued it, and it started cracking in other places, so I was like, all right, that is going to have to do. The rest of the stuff I've been messing with is these heads. They're going on a trooper car sometime probably next month when I get the car in here and pull the engine. The reason I'm pulling the engine, it's got a bad head gasket. It's not leaking, but it's seeping pretty good. I run a 6 or 7 pound cap, but it's still, if anytime I get over half throttle, it'll start pushing water out. And a couple of the valve seals are not the guides, the seals themselves are bad. I had trouble when I first put them on because they wouldn't stay, so I put some red Loctite on them and jammed them on. They worked pretty good until the last few months. I could tell, because it would always wipe out the oxygen sensor and the wideband on that side. So I turned them off on that side, and I'm just going to leave it alone until I get these heads done. I'm going to take the LTD up to the exhaust shop Friday morning, and then if I can get these done, I'll drop them off to the machine shop, get 30,000 swacked off of them, and put them in. I'm not going to have a valve job done. I think these have got probably 30,000 miles on it since I got them. I got them secondhand on Corral, I think. Guy had them, and he said it didn't run right, so he put the stock heads back on. So I bought them, and then I found one of the valves was bent, so I replaced the valve, and then I ported them, and I ran them on the LTD for quite a long time. A couple things I picked up is 90 millimeter throttle body spacer, and then a 90 mil blank throttle body spacer, and of course a 90 millimeter AccuFab. This is going to go on the red car for when I have the when I put the other heads on, and I'm going to put a Holly lower with a modified truck upper on it, and I'll put this on. But the one thing I wanted to point out about AccuFab is if you look straight down there, you can see the throttle body isn't exactly like parallel straight up and down, and every AccuFab throttle body that I've had to modify down here where that stop hits the base. I've had to open that up or grind a little off so it goes to full throttle. This is only zip that down so that I could show you what that's about. But like I said, it's just every one I've had to do that. And then this, I was kind of mocking it up. This is I think they call it a plenum. They started out on the back in the day on the 66, 65 GT350s. Only the real legitimate ones are bigger. They're like 15 inches across, about 5 inches deep. But they're also close to $100. I found this on eBay for 30. I had to cut the bottom out, and as you can see, you got a little customized in the process with my little saw. I can fix that easy enough, but that just gives it character. So the reason I like the short one is because I'm not sure how much room I'm gonna have with my cowl hood, and then I'll put a hood scoop on top of it. I'm gonna run this a couple of different ways to see which one works the best. I suspect the hood scoop, and then this is gonna be the best because that's used the most direct route from the outside air into the engine. That's the knock against the long runner EFI intakes. You know, the air goes in through the mass air meter, makes a turn into the throttle body, goes across the crossover, makes another turn, and then into the upper part of the intake, and that makes another turn. In all them turns, the air slows down. This kind of a setup is going to make, like a car like mine that's got, you know, relatively light tall gear and so on, is going to make this will be the most efficient. If I had a heavy car like a convertible with an automatic and a 327 gear, then a long runner intake would probably work better. So, but this will still be speed density EFI, factory speed density, you know, factory 86 HO cam. Basically the same setup I have now, just a different set of heads, but they're really close to each other. The Panhandle ones are probably a skosh better than mine. Of course, they're professionals and I'm not. And everything else is going to be the same. Oh, also the rocker arms. I've got to keep the 1.7s for the red car, and I've got a set of old Crane 1.6s that I'm going to run on a trooper car. They're very small. When the engine's getting put together, I'll show you the comparison between the two so you can see. But it's pretty neat how little they are, but they still work good. So that's essentially it. I've been out here cleaning, trying to get stuff a little more organized because I'm getting pretty frustrated trying to find stuff, and it's causing me aggravation. That's also a hunk of metal I got. It's a 6061 aluminum. Where is it? 6061. It's I think it's like 25 or 30 thousandths. Got it through Metals Online. What I do with that is make these kind of things to put on the bottom. The reason I bought it is I got like 3 Explorer intake lowers and a couple uppers. I'm going to go ahead and finish those out, get them doctored up and painted, and then try to sell them on the corral, because there seems to be a market for them. People can't get like Edelbrock is moving their stuff out of California into Mississippi, so they can't get materials and all that, you know, supply chain issues, so they haven't got everything set up out there. So supposedly the prices of intakes has gone up pretty good, so I might try to take advantage of that. I still got to buy some stuff for the trooper car, and that'll help me out get those things a little faster than if I had to wait to buy it, because my my darling wife will let me, graciously allows me to keep a little bit of money from my Air Force retirement pension to buy stuff for my car. So it'll go a little faster that way. So that's what I'm going to do. Still been out here cleaning, rearranging, fiddle farting last couple days. And the LT, like I said, the LTD is going up to the exhaust shop on Friday morning. Got to get that taken care of, because all my neighborhood Karens are giving me the stink eye when I ride around in it now with the race bullets dumped off the headers. So I want to try to make them a little, and you know, besides not getting a stink eye, I can also hear what's going on with the car instead of those things exit right underneath the seat and is really, really loud. So anyway, that's what's going on. That's the update. Should have some better news next Saturday. Can drive around the LTD a little bit, and maybe start driving that to work finally and get the blue car in here. So, all right, fellas, appreciate y'all for subscribing and all that stuff, and we'll catch you next time.